Previously, Kaguya sacrificed his life while trying to protect 2 girls from a dangerous robber. However, he found himself reincarnated in a magical world as Cain, a noble belonging to a respected family. Cain's memories from his previous life remained intact, making him seem like a genius in his family's eyes. His blessings were further amplified during his baptism ceremony at the age of 5, where the gods bestowed upon him incredible powers and abilities. Despite his family's warnings to keep his exceptional abilities hidden, Cain had a burning desire to become an adventurer and explore the world. However, Cain's father reminded him that he would have to study and train hard to become a successful adventurer. His dad arranged a tutor to help him become a great adventurer. He was very excited to meet his tutor. While waiting for his tutor, Cain read a book in his room and wondered what he would learn. Would it be fighting skills like an ogre or magical abilities like a witch? Suddenly, the maid told him that his tutor had arrived, interrupting his thoughts. Cain quickly goes to the window to take a closer look at his tutor who has just arrived. He uses a magic spell to meet them. However, he miscalculates and ends up crashing into Millie and Nina. He apologizes and introduces himself to them. The tutors then arrive and come into the house, where Millie seems nervous while introducing herself as an D-rank adventurer, while Nina is very brief. Cain notices that Nina is an elf and becomes fascinated. However, his father reminds them that the tutors are here to teach, so they don't need to be shy. Cain then adds that they do not need to be formal when speaking to him. After the introductions, Cain's father Garm leaves his son in the care of 2 tutors for 3 years and they go outside to start the training. The group goes to the practice area where Cain is asked to try a few sword swings so that they can assess his level. Cain takes his stance and starts swinging the sword. Millie is shocked by how refined his skills are, and Nina makes a cheeky comment that the boy might be better than the teacher. This offends Millie, who is certain that she wouldn't lose to a 5-year-old. Since Cain is already beyond beginner level, Millie suggests that they have a mock battle to see how good he really is. Cain agrees, and the mock battle begins. During the battle, the young boy attacks Millie with his sword, and she blocks his strikes, but she was surprised as she can hardly believe that he's only 5 years old. Cain tells her that he recently underwent his baptism. As he constantly attacked Millie with his sword, Nina comments on his impressive skills and asks if he has the protection of the god of war. Cain turns to Nina to confirm her assumption, and he also mentions that his father instructed him not to let anyone outside the family know. Millie can no longer keep up with Cain's swordsmanship, so she instructs him to stop, as she is completely tired and admits that she won't be able to continue at this pace with Cain and suggests that he move on to Nina, who will teach him magic while she takes a break. Nina informs Cain that she has level 3 protection from the god of magic. She asks him if he wants to start with the basics, but Cain tells her that he has already learned them from books. He demonstrates his skills by creating spells like water ball and fireball with ease. Nina is impressed by his proficiency and asks him to demonstrate more. He then uses magic to shoot a couple of rock bullets at the target, but the spell is too powerful, causing the target to break and the wall behind it to shatter. The tutors are shocked as Cain states that he can only do things at the beginner level. For the time being, Nina points out that he used enchanted magic, which is unprecedented because even using shortened forms of incantation requires extensive training. So, for him to be able to use enchanted magic at such a young age, he must be a genius. Not to mention his command of all 4 elements. Nina adds more exposition, pointing out that none of the palace mages of the sage class can use all of the elements with such power. She asks Cain if he is also protected by the god of magic, which he confirms. Millie thinks that it might be difficult to teach Cain anything more because he seems to have extraordinary abilities. The teachers are even more surprised when he pulls out a towel from his item box. They don't want to be shocked by any more of his abilities or they won't be able to handle it. Millie suggests that they can't continue teaching him inside the castle as his power might destroy the castle. Cain suggests having their lessons outside the wall as he has never been outside before, other than going to his baptism ceremony. This would also be a chance for him to explore the world. The teachers realize that Cain's talent would be better challenged in the real world. They later inform Cain's father that his ability in swordsmanship and magic is beyond beginner level. Cain's teachers were worried that practicing intermediate magic in the mansion might destroy the place. Before they even finish, Cain's father, Graham, understands the situation, saying that he knew this would happen but was not expecting Cain to do it in his first day. He allows them to go outside to practice as long as Cain comes back before sunset. The next day, Cain is excited to go outside for the first time, and they stop a safe distance from the mansion. Nina instructs Cain to cast an intermediate level spell on a boulder, and he chooses fire magic. He casts a firewall spell that explodes the rock and sends his teachers flying. The spell was too powerful for an intermediate level, and Nina points out that Cain must be very talented. Millie thinks that Cain must have used a lot of his magic power to cast the spell. Cain assures his teachers that he's okay despite using a lot of magic. So, they assume that he must have an incredible amount of magic power. Suddenly, they are interrupted by a killer rabbit that attacks them. Millie tries to fight it with her sword, but the rabbit dodges her attack and goes after Cain. He manages to avoid it by using wind magic and kills it with a spell. He decides to put it in his item box to show his family later. Millie is amazed by the item box and shares her desire to own a magic bag, which is similar to the item box but expensive. They explain that the bag is for people who don't have the ability to use an item box. Millie changes the topic and suggests that they do more hunting since they have some time to spare. Nina then uses a search spell to locate some enemies for them to fight. Kane is interested in learning the spell, so Nina explains how it works, and he tries it for the first time. Not only does he successfully use the spell, but he also takes it a step further and can tell the number and types of creatures they will face before they even encounter them. After defeating some of the enemies, some of them manage to escape into the forest. Kane wants to chase after them, but his teachers stop him and explain that it is dangerous to go deeper into the forest. Every few decades, ferocious monsters come charging out from there, trying to destroy the city. That's why the city has such high walls to protect its people. Kane is even more determined to become an adventurer after learning about the city's dangerous monsters. He wants to be able to assist if something similar occurs again. Before going to sleep, he checks his stats and is surprised to see that he's already at level 8, even though he hasn't done much. He thinks it's unfair that the gods made him too strong. The next day, Kane's tutors surprise him by taking him to the guild hall. They want to find contracts for stronger monsters because they believe that Kane is capable of handling them. Hearing about guild hall, Kane's get even more excited and runs after his tutors inside the guild hall. They talk to the receptionist to find a strong monster contract, but a C-class adventurer interrupts them. He makes fun of them for being a low rank and asks if they're doing a babysitting quest with Kane. Hearing this, his friends laugh in the background. He then bullies Millie and orders her to leave Kane and pour him a drink. Millie refuses and tells him to go to a bar. Nina tells him that they are on duty, which makes him angry. He grabs Nina's hand. The two other party members catch Millie. However, Kane is not happy about their behavior, so he grabs the C-rank adventurer's hand and tells him that he's interrupting their training. Despite his teacher's order to run, Kane slaps the bully's hand, which makes him fall down in pain. The man gets up, angry, and tries to attack Kane with his sword. But Kane easily dodges his strikes and demands an apology for his disrespectful behavior towards his tutors. The C-rank then tries to attack with his most powerful move, but Kane grabs his sword with 2 fingers and tosses him out of the guild hall. The other 2 adventurers get scared and hold Millie at knife point, but Kane kicks them out too. His teachers are grateful for his help and Millie compliments him on his martial arts skills. Kane tells her that he learned them from books. They head to the forest where Kane continues his daily training. Kane completed his 3 years of training and Sylvia bring his cloth and news about his teacher, who have declined to increase the duration of the teaching period. Kane understands that his tutors want to go on their own adventures, and he can't tie them down for too long. However, Kane wants to show his appreciation to his tutors, who have been really good to him over the years. He remembers that Millie wanted a red magic bag, so he goes into the forest at night to collect materials from monsters that he can use to make her the bag. Kane also remembers that Nina, his other tutor, wanted a green magic bag. So, he defeats an earth dragon to get the materials he needs for her bag. Kane wants to show his gratitude towards his tutors, and making the magic bags is his way of saying thank you for their help. When a guard at his station notices his attacks from the city wall, he believes it is a monster outbreak. As a result, he sounds the alarm. Calm, he gathers his men and rushes into the forest to stop them, but all they find is a crater and Kane's handkerchief, with no monsters in sight. Kane completes the final stage of his training and is officially graduated. They realize he already knew everything, but it was still nice to teach him. Kane takes advantage of the situation to give them the magical bags he created. When he describes the materials he used to create them, they inform him that even a party of A-class adventurers would have difficulty defeating monsters of that caliber. He tells them that the storage capacity of is not too bad because it can fit the mansion. This astonishes the two, and they inform him that the bags he has created will be considered a national treasure level. If others find out, it may cause them problems. However, he claims that he has added anti-theft technology, so they will be fine. This, however, surprised them even more because it is now more than a national treasure. They willingly accept it. He believes he learns a lot from them, including how much fun adventuring is. They say their goodbyes as they leave. When he returns home, his father criticizes him for his actions in the forest after his banded handkerchief was discovered in the place of the monster. He kept scolding him, telling him he should know his limits because he was only 8 years old. Kane continues to apologize as he is scolded, bringing the episode to a close. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Annie Explainer for more amazing videos.